Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between XlorD and Grubby. This game taking place here. Oh, what was the name of the map again? This map is Autumn Leaves. Let's go ahead and break things down in this 1v1 matchup. XlorD has spawned as the red undead over here on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have Grubby spawning as the yellow orc over here on the bottom left. Gonna go ahead and speed things up to 8 times speed, get things to the 2-minute mark as time is of the essence, opening up Farseer Headhunters going up against Death Knight and Ghouls. All right, a well, great game underway here. Autumn Leaves, a map that opens up for a lot of very aggressive style of play. Grubby, perhaps the most famous Warcraft 3 player who is not actively playing in the professional scene any longer, but still draws a very large crowd whenever on Twitch. Farseer heading off to the top right hand side of the map now, perhaps trying to put some pressure down onto this Death Knight. Death Knight does have a Rod of Necromancy and some ghouls, just clearing out some of these early locations. Now, what is the Farseer looking to do in this spot here? Perhaps put some pressure down on, perhaps get some damage on that wolf right there. Who's going to get the last bit of experience? It looks as though if Farseer is not... Oh, Farseer does get the last hit there. Death Knight, beautiful micro coming in from Grubby as the Farseer now double backs around. Headhunter, however, could be in a little bit of trouble as the Farseer now trying to pick off units from behind. Beautiful micro coming in from Grubby Spirit Wolf, trying to stop any real damage being absorbed on that Headhunter as the Grubby's Farseer now trying to retreat back. Hello, Raynor. Good to see you too, as things are now, well, getting underway in this 1v1. Grubby, is this a tournament or a ladder game? I believe this is just a ladder game, no observers. So yeah, I don't believe Grubby has really tried to play professionally any time as of late, just doing a full-time streaming, which, you know, good for him. Coming back through, yeah, trying to do streaming full-time, very difficult, as we're looking at a Headhunter quickly getting surrounded and taken down there. Meanwhile, trying to add up a little bit of damage, XlorD, quickly finishing off a lot of these units here as the Death Knight does get up to level 2, and that is going to be a problem as the skeletal minions and ghouls are now having faster movement speed against that Farseer, who may be forced... Oh, are we going to see a box out? Yes, we are. Beautiful box out right there, trying to break free. Grubby, is he going to let that Farseer fall? No, he is not. Going to end up getting taken down. Headhunters purposely making their way back, but unable to get enough damage on that low hit point ghoul. XlorD now making its way back off to the north here, finishing off the Null Brute and Frost Wolf creep camp. Meanwhile, Farseer of Grubby looking to take this, well, free trip back home and make the most of it, knowing that his opponent is at the opposite end of the map. By doing exactly this, he's able to clear out a fairly difficult creep camp, not having to worry about getting creep jacked as of yet, but he will need some healing salves back at home. No Voodoo Lounge yet on the board. Never mind, take it back. There it is. Voodoo Lounge right there. Farseer will be picking up most likely healing salves, maybe even a clarity potion, a scroll of speed in order to get away from that fast-moving Death Knight. Well, Headhunters Wolf now making their way over here to the top right here. Death Knight looking to clear out the Ogre Magi creep camp as well. Headhunters could have easily just finished off that Skeletal Warrior, gotten a little bit of experience, but no, wants to get a little bit of damage onto the Death Knight instead, but that's easily just going to be shaken off anyways. The Death Knight really not in any danger. Death Knight still making its way back down. Yep, it is Grubby, so hopefully we'll see how many people on YouTube are like, oh, it's Grubby. I want to see a game with Grubby. I haven't seen a game with Grubby in a very long time. I heard that they had some end games in, and you know, I heard that they had some very great games on the ladder between Grubby and XlorD, hoping to see what these two excellent players bring to the table. All right, Farseer Headhunter starting to poke after all of these spiders and all of these remaining units. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Death Knight Death Knight with ghouls going after Forest Troll Berserker and trying to shut down this Sasquatch creep camp here will get up to level 3. Tech to tier 2 already done. Tech to tier 3 underway as the Lich will be joining out on the fight. Tech to tier 3 by Grubby as well. So it is going to be Tauren Chieftain as the second hero, and we may even see a third hero coming from Grubby as well. Also, with Tier 3 underway, tiny Great Halls could be established, and the far expansions have also been cleared as well. The far expansion a little bit more difficult to clear, but does have significantly more gold than, well, actually no, it doesn't have that much more gold, only 12,000 as well. But your main gold mines, well, already losing quite a bit too. So 12,000 in each of those gold mines, which translates to what, about 10 minutes, or what is that, 20 minutes of mining each. All right, Death Knight, Lich, Farseer, Tauren Chieftain, a little bit of creepjacking or Scroll of Speed will be forced to be used. There's a Death Coil Frost Nova onto a unsuspecting Berserk or Headhunter as he's trying to back away. Tauren Chieftain now trying to back up here. Scroll of Speed there. Sasquatch actually walking very, very far over. Going to allow for a quick kill. Claws of Attack +5. Oh, yep, don't need that. A Claws of Attack +5 as the Death Knight still wandering and making its way down. Headhunters trying to poke apart some of these other units here. Tauren Chieftain trying to go after the Lich. Lich does have a little bit of plus damage. Scroll of Speed trying to get in front and does get a stun off onto that, onto the Death Knight, but the Death Knight still getting the necessary Death Coil off to save that Lich, who's still now down to 141 hit points. A lot of damage coming back across, another 400 hit point heal there as the units are backing away. All right, Skeletal Minions looking to back up again. Headhunters needing to get that Berserker upgrade as well, waiting for that Stronghold to upgrade into Fortress. Chain Lightning bouncing around. That is only level 1 Chain Lightning. Tauren Chieftain perhaps going to try to line up another Stomp, go after that Lich again. But the Lich, well, doesn't have to really worry that much. Death Knight is nearby with another Death Coil. XlorD getting in some last-second heals on that Lich every single time. 1,200 hit points of damage removed from that Lich, and he still does not look worse for wear. Dark Ranger now out here onto the battlefield as well. Are we getting up a third hero? No, not just quite yet. No Berserker upgrades. We do have the Fortress as the Death Knight and the Lich is chasing after this Tauren Chieftain army. Dark Ranger has become more popular recently. Orc style of play where they go for supply units. Normally the Dark Ranger in years past was not that powerful, only for silence to try and shut down a Tauren Chieftain who was gonna, well, stun lock your army. Now, with more headhunters in play and more bodies to kill, the Dark Ranger's black arrows can actually start adding up to deal significant damage against those headhunters. Because a BM nerf is that Farseer can be a viable option. A Beastmaster, Beastmaster or Blade Master, really it's the increasing usefulness of headhunters that allows Farseer headhunters and Farseer berserkers to be a little bit more useful. Before, in games past, in years past, well, the Blade Master was really the majority of the damage of the Orc army. Now that more units can deal damage, you aren't funneled into Blade Master first constantly, hoping to get good critical strikes and trying to shut down and have that tempo, and having access to those headhunters and berserkers really opening things up. Is this the recent super long game? You'll just have to wait and see. All right, Tauren Chieftain now making its way back out. Death Knight, Lich all in that front line spot here. Dark Ranger here, big stun across multiple units, even though it's only a level 1 stun. Spirit Link now cast between multiple units here, quickly going to get dispelled by that Destroyer. Devour Magic looking so delicious as Berserkers are getting taken down. Berserkers trying to perhaps finish off the Destroyers, but there's too many ghouls there as another Stomp now goes down once again. Units are trying to retreat back. Where is Grubby's 50 supply army? There's a Kodo Beast now out onto the battlefield. More Berserkers are getting trained, and a Tauren Totem. That is where the units are trying to train those units back up, but adding in a Tauren Totem does seem a bit dicey going up against Destroyers. Destroyers also devouring that Spirit Link pretty easily. All right, coming back through Death Knight, Dire Frostwolf, all of these going to go ahead and get cleaned up here once more. Obsidian Statue going to go ahead and will still provide a bunch of healing again as the Farseer, Tauren Chieftain, Kodo Beast still looking to engage all here. All right, Chain Lightning bouncing around, Death Knight, Dark Ranger, a little bit of a narrow passageway, exactly where Grubby wants to fight, as it's going to force XlorD to try and come around the side here for a possible flank. All right, and things are now out in the open, ready for all of these ghouls to try and swarm as the Tauren Chieftain tries to land a good stomp, but instead ends up getting surrounded. Tauren Chieftain now in some serious trouble, does have a Cloak of Shadows, and uses the Cloak of Shadows right there in the middle of a game. All right, Farseer could be in trouble. It's Scroll of Town Portal perhaps going to try and be purchased. Does he have enough gold? Yes, he does. Scroll of Town Portal used in a time in the middle of a battle. Kodo Beast grabs a ghoul, and the Tauren Chieftain even walks over. Beautiful micro coming in from Grubby as XlorD unable to capitalize the poor positioning on Grubby's army at all. Grubby's Tauren Chieftain just shy of level 3. Farseer just shy of level 4, going up against a level 3, level 2, Death Knight, Lich, and Dark Ranger. Units coming back off to the north here. There's one Tauren out onto the battlefield, a Tauren Chieftain here as well. So there's the Chieftain, there's the Tauren, and there is Spirit Walkers. And this is going to be a strange situation. There is enough Spirit Walkers to constantly resurrect and keep these Taurens alive. Or at least in play. By keeping these Taurens in play and resurrecting them, it is essentially another way to get resources, converting mana into units. I don't believe that is something that is counted when you are trying to build or train unit in the unit count. Tauren Chieftain picking up that Tome of Agility. Meanwhile, down to the south here, in comes Destroyers, fortified armor already done on those burrows as the attack is underway. No Scroll of Town Portal, going to be forced to walk all the way back, and this could go sideways very quickly. Grubby perhaps not expecting XlorD to try and put pressure in with his main army. Ghouls, Berserkers trying to get in a little bit of damage, faster attack speed, but no Bloodlust, no Endurance Aura to increase that attack speed here as a Tauren Chieftain finally shows up to the party. Tauren Chieftain does not have an Orb of Lightning. Farseer has that Orb of Lightning, so the Tauren Chieftain is unable to engage against all these units, and XlorD is just camping inside Grubby's base. All right, camping inside Grubby's base right here. Sim City making it difficult to defend urban warfare in WarCraft 3 as all of the ghouls, all of the air superiority making it difficult. Farseer really needs to hand over that lightning shield to the Tauren Chieftain, thereby opening up attacks onto those destroyers. Tauren Chieftain now trying to dive on in, but the units will just teleport back out. Beautiful positioning by XlorD in that fight, disallowing Grubby from really fighting defensively inside his own base. We're looking at 45 supply compared to XlorD's 56, as XlorD may look to this opportunity to try and establish up an expansion with less than 5 minutes of mining left in the main bases. Coming back around, Farseer is at 4, Tauren Chieftain is at 3. XlorD definitely has the experience advantage now, as Grubby does a little bit of a risky play. I wouldn't say desperate, definitely risky play here to try and go after this Granite Golem creep camp. All right, Granite Golem creep camp normally for Orc players would be an absolute nightmare, but because of Berserkers becoming much more popular, actually going to work out well. The Granite Golem with that, I'll call Thunderclap, don't know the exact ability. Granite Golem with that Thunderclap normally would take down Grunts and Raiders without any real problem, and you would end up absorbing quite a bit of damage. Tauren Chieftain now with Cloak of Flames, dealing 10 damage per second. Although it does sound rather impressive, do remember a Lightning Shield actually, I believe, does 15 or 20. So Cloak of Flames dealing less damage than the Lightning Shield. But Lightning Shield does have the added drawback of also being able to damage your own friendly units as well. It is quite disheartening to stand close to your friends and then just absolutely get shocked to death. Great micros so far going back and forth. We are looking at, really only one more creep camp available on the map. A 3-2-2-1 creep camp. Not going to give level 4 to that Tauren Chieftain. At least I don't believe so. Yeah, needing, 71 or 81 experience. Going after, okay, killing the pack animal. And I do believe, yes, it does drop a corpse now. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain now makes its way over to finish off this Rogue Wizard. Is it going to give level 4? It might be close, but may not be able to get there. Actually, no, it looks like it's... Oh, yep, it is going to, in fact, give level 4. Sentry wards are dropped. Farseer now going to make its way back over. So 2 level 4 heroes going up against a 4-3-3. Back off to the north here. Temple of the Dam now going into Banshee Mastery training, which we know means that, well, that Tauren, it cannot get killed, but it can, without possibility of resurrection, but it can in fact get possessed. What would be interesting is if, well, the Spirit Walkers actually don't have mastery training. Okay, no, I take it back. Now getting Spirit Walker mastery training. If XlorD actually possesses a Tauren and also a Spirit Walker, well, technically both being Tauren, yes, I know. If he possesses both a Tauren Warrior, I'm going to call him now, a Tauren Warrior and a Tauren Spirit Walker, he can start resurrecting his own Tauren as well. We'll see if that does come to pass here. There are a lot of Banshees out onto the battlefield. Mastery training does open up possession, but it also does mean anti-magic shell to try and shake off some of that damage. Thoughts on Autumn Leaves? Very green trees amongst very brown trees. I wish there was like more shades of trees instead of just green and brown, like a little bit of a difference. But that's just all aesthetics aside. In terms of balance, there's a lot of different ways to walk towards your opponent, a lot of positioning, maneuvering, and strategy that we've seen so far being highlighted in this matchup between Grubby and XlorD. Maybe a Necromancer. They have resistant skin. Yeah. We'll see where units will be trying to travel to next. Tauren ready to move out. 58 supply compared to XlorD's 75. A big battle could be underway, and Tiny Great Hall able to establish up this expansion extremely quickly here, as the main halls are, well, nearly done in mining, down to about 4 minutes left. One off to the north, down to 3 minutes left. You gotta remember early on that there was that fight inside Grubby's base, preventing mining as all of the, well, peons were hiding inside those burrows. Anti-magic shell Banshees still have enough with possession, and here we are, straight up engagement against the Voodoo Lounge. Grubby losing a little bit of his home field advantage, even though burrows do have a good number of peons inside. Are we going to see a stomp right here? Yes, we are. Stomped down across multiple units, coupled alongside Cloak of Flames. Damage is adding up quickly as the units are now still trying to make their rounds. Tauren Chieftain trying to line things up. It does have a potion of invulnerability used, but that has come to an end as the Tauren Chieftain throws down another stomp again. A follow-up Chain Lightning could finish down 3 of those ghouls, but those ghouls not getting taken down at all as the Tauren Chieftain now being forced to retreat back down to 74 hit points, able to flee. A bunch of low hit point ghouls able to fly back home perhaps, and then regenerate some of those hit points as XlorD able to dodge a good amount of damage on that leading army. Farseer looking to make its way back over, but anti-magic shell playing such a big pivotal role here as Grubby is fighting his way through. All right, rebuilding of bases might be necessary. Grubby at 60/62 supply. Another Orc Burrow about to get taken down. Raiders having nowhere really to go. And this green army from the anti-magic shell really starting to spell a bit of problems. Tauren Chieftain now trying to dive on in here. The possession of XlorD. Are we going to see a possession on a Tauren? That is the question here as the Kodo Beast trying to make its way back over. All right, a little bit of, well, missing coming in as we see Scroll of Healing coming down across. Tauren could get possessed, and nope, it looks like as it is not possessed, finishing off the Banshee in time. One, however, was taken over. All right, XlorD does have one Tauren here trying to fight back against some of those Raiders. Death Coil onto the Lich as that's staying alive, but the Dark Ranger could have problems. No, beautiful Scroll of Town Portal transfer for XlorD as he battles away. A Raider able to stay alive as well. A Spirit Link on that Raider, keeping that unit alive as we're looking at 50 supply compared to 77. All right, expansion of XlorD trying to take the, well, top left-hand side of the map. That is still not up and operational yet. XlorD could actually be running into a bit of problems as his gold mine is starting to run out, and he may not feel as though he has a large enough army to really challenge Grubby's expansion as of yet. Even with a Tauren taken over as well, he may want to try and play a little bit closer to home, get this expansion up and running before trying to venture forth. But that's going to give Grubby time to rebuild and rebuild his army, even though his army is at 39 supply compared to 73. All right, Kodo Possess. Yeah, Kodo Possess would also be super beneficial. Bestiary in the back here. The Kodo Possess Crypt Fiend slowly being digested. So Grubby is revealing to XlorD the fact that he has an expansion. Tauren Chieftain has a potion of lesser invulnerability and a potion of mana. So a lot of this extra gold is being spent on items as opposed to trying to train up units. Grubby is currently in low upkeep, as well as the Haunted Gold Mine has, well, come online here. The main gold mine has been unsummoned. Sacrificial Pit as well, being trained or training up a Shade to keep track of the Tauren Chieftain just in case he tries to do another invisibility trick. Farseer venturing forth without a Scroll of Talent Portal. This may be an all-in attempt once more. Tauren Chieftain doing a little bit of a stare-off against the Death Knight here, as the units are now trying to back away again. All right, XlorD. Well, Spirit Wolf's trying to run on inside, perhaps trying to catch some units in transit. However, XlorD not training any units as he's already on the cusp of high upkeep. Units looking to back around here. There's a reveal right there, trying to make sure that there is no shade on top of Grubby's army. Level 4 going up against level 4, level 3. Dark Ranger does in fact have silence, so the Tauren Chieftain may not be able to put his foot down when the time comes. Grubby also doesn't have access to that much healing aside from healing salves. I don't believe, still no Spirit Lodge, even though Grubby in games past has often gone for Witch Doctors, liking Witch Doctors and being able to place sentry wards all across the map. Back off to the north here, XlorD is gaining his economic advantage back, just sitting inside his base and starting to mine again more and more. Still coming through. What is going on here? Death Knight, Dark Ranger, Lich still, well, doing a little bit of a dance. Going to speed things up since it doesn't seem like XlorD and Grubby want to really fight each other as of yet. The Destroyer now making its way down. But yeah, both of these players just playing very, very cautiously, wanting to make sure that they're not the ones to make a major mistake. All right, we're hitting the 24-minute mark of this game. It looks like a battle could be underway. And here we are, Farseer, Tauren Chieftain trying to line things up. Chain Lightning bouncing around. Tauren Chieftain going to try to line down a Stomp. Does get the Stomp. Doesn't get that much damage, but does get the stun in trying to open things up and catching XlorD in this very narrow passageway, which is rather difficult. Crypt Fiends are going to be able to try to fight their way through. Tauren Chieftain does have a potion of invulnerability still, and Cloak of Flames, which is dealing a good amount of damage. Obsidian statues in the back. One Tauren of XlorD unable to battle it up all that much, as we're going to be looking at more damage still adding through. Destroyers getting taken down. Tauren Chieftain, well, Berserkers are trying to increase their damage as, come on, I rolled back. 72 supply compared to 55. All right, Raiders, Berserkers still trying to continue this fight here. A major army difference, 48 supply compared to 67. Chain Lightning bouncing around as the Tauren Chieftain unable to throw down a Stomp as it is silenced. All right, Tauren could get taken down. It gets taken down here. Are we going to see a resurrection? Yes, we are, as the Tauren picked back up once more. All right, more fighting underway here. Deathcoil continuing to fight as the Death Knight is down to, well, up to level 5 here. Tauren Chieftain now trying to fight down some of these other units. Pulverize really making short work across multiple burrowed Crypt Fiends, as the burrowed Crypt Fiends still take the normal damage from those Taurens rather quickly. Level 4 now on the Dark Ranger. Lich is now seen at level 4 as well, so could have access to Dark Ritual in order to try and gain a little bit more mana. Beautiful save on the Death Coil right there, as the Lich could be in trouble. Lich is going to get taken down. Yes, he gets taken down. Death Knight does have Brilliance, or a level 4 Lich falls. 43 supply compared to 65. Tauren Chieftain still wandering around here, perhaps going to buy a potion of healing or something to try and stay alive. Double scrolls of healing right there, and, well, very, very useful across multiple units with that Spirit Link. However, Grubby going to be losing a Kodo Beast right there, giving back a Crypt Fiend. Tauren Chieftain trying to chase after a Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger could get ensnared, waiting for that Raider ensnare cooldown to come to an end. Is it going to go down? Yes, it is. Dark Ranger could be in trouble. Follow-up stomp is going to be in order. Nope, no stomp right there. Not quite sure. There was a silence as the Tauren Chieftain still trying to catch up and still trying to get that damage across those units. The Tauren Chieftain unable to finish it off, and now finally gets that shot there. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 5. Dark Ranger falls at level 4. Lich resurrected at the tavern at level 4 as the Death Knight goes after this second expansion of Grubby. Units trying to make their way back out. Farseer sitting at level 5, getting closer to level 6, but it's really going to be about the Tauren Chieftain, whether or not he can get the level 6. 38 supply compared to 66. Both sides fighting their way through, and XlorD with a major advantage now, 61 supply compared to 29, shutting down Grubby's additional expansion once more. Off on the top left, one Nerubian Tower. Spirit Wolves, however, Dire Wolves are now going to make their way over, not Spirit Wolves, and because of that, it is level 3 Chain Lightning over level 3 Summoned Wolves. Alright, there's no Destroyers in play that I see anywhere out here on the battlefield. Tauren Chieftain sitting at 40, or Tauren Chieftain sitting with a 40 supply army to work with, as the Farseer and Tauren Chieftain need to, figure out their follow-up plays. Taurens, no upgrades. Meanwhile, did we see the Tauren of XlorD fall? Yes, we did. We do have still enough Banshees to try and possess a bit more or use anti-magic shell, as the Crypt Fiends are very, very afraid of those Taurens here. Repairs underway. More Berserkers are getting trained up. A new Voodoo Lounge being placed back there, as well as Grubby is trying to defend 2 locations and not trying to expand towards or trying to take ground in the middle as of yet. As both sides are looking to, just regroup. Oh, there's that Tauren. The Tauren was able to escape, now down to 173 hit points. Gonna be able to heal back up once more and get back in on that fight. Meanwhile, down to the south here, Shade just walking around, and a long, drawn-out game. Grubby does not want to make any mistakes again, purposely hanging back, and both sides are just trying to, see if they can establish up that second expansion. All right, Grubby already has that second expansion. We could be looking at the undead army of XlorD trying to make their way in here, but there's going to be a battle into the center portion of the map. Tauren Chieftain, Farseer, Shade all in position here. XlorD with a 75 supply army going up against Grubby's 62, 50 supply army going up against 68. As XlorD's trying to establish up that expansion once more, we see a couple of ghouls just hanging back over there. And once more, nope, they were feigning like they were going to attack and then decide against it. All right, Spirit Wolves or Dire Wolves still continuing to monitor back and forth here. A little bit of a drawn-out fight with no one really ready to pull the trigger, as Grubby is mining up, and still XlorD finally getting this gold mine up and running once again. All right, a little bit of a gold advantage for Grubby, as both sides could be looking to pull the trigger and start a battle. No, they are not. XlorD with one Tauren in the front line going to try and make its way. This Tauren warrior, 3 obsidian statues, Banshees. XlorD sitting on 78 over 100 supply. Grubby somehow has caught up, sitting at 72 supply as well, as the Farseer, is it trying to just get some damage across this? Nope, hasn't done any real harassment either. Dustwallow Dweller, thank you. Really need to just speed things up in this game here, because both sides don't seem to be ready to do a fight as of yet. Just a little bit of a standoff in the middle portion of the map, and they are still looking up, going into a battle here. Now, Death Knight, Dark Ranger in that frontline spot. Death Coil, Frost Nova blasting over a Dark Ranger in pretty much an instant. Tauren Chieftain now trying to lead the charge here. Is it going to be able to get off a big stomp? Yes, it does. Big stomp across multiple units. Tauren Chieftain, however, absorbing quite a bit of damage. Going to try and finish off some more of those units, as the Berserkers going straight after those Banshees. Another stomp now coming into play. Tauren Chieftain could be in a little bit of trouble. Does have a potion of invulnerability and does use it there. Still has a scroll of healing. Could try and go after this last Tauren here. Tauren could get taken down, and there it goes. Can you steal a Tauren back with the Spirit Walkers? I don't believe so. As the Tauren Chieftain now coming back around. Potion of invulnerability used there. for the Lich, as the Tauren Chieftain now in a little bit of trouble. No additional, healing items, no scroll of healing, nothing like that, as a Chain Lightning bouncing around. Tauren Chieftain to try to throw down a stomp, does get the stomp onto the Lich, as it seemed too far away. Tauren Chieftain now down to 183 hit points, able to back up. Tauren Chieftain now looking to, well, perhaps get that last bit of experience. 30 experience would give it to level 6 for Reincarnation. Lich now back out here onto the battle. Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 6, and now Grubby is willing to play. All right, Grubby is all in with this Tauren Chieftain, now continuing to battle up. Chain Lightning going across multiple Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends could get taken down, as the Shadow Wolves now getting in some big critical strike damage. 58 supply compared to 64. XlorD somehow losing this fight and may be ending up losing this game, as the units are still fighting their way around. Tauren Chieftain seen that level 6 Death Knight now looking to back away as well, as the Lich is back out onto the battlefield with good amount of hit points. But, well, what can he really do right now, as the Berserkers are starting to get taken down? All right, Kodobi is trying to retreat all the way to the back. He's trapped up into a bad corner, as the Tauren Chieftain going after some of these additional units. Lich does escape away with the Scroll of Town Portal. A couple of burrowed Crypt Fiends, however, still stuck in the ground, and, well, not going to be revealed. 59 supply compared to 57. One reveal right there could change things around. Instead, going straight after this expansion to make sure that XlorD no longer has that economic advantage or economic equality. Tauren Chieftain trying to make its way over. Does he throw down a stomp? Yes, he does. Cloak of Flames adding in more damage. Death Coil onto the Crypt Fiend saves it once more, as both sides are still fighting their way through. More Crypt Fiends still continuing to battle it up. Kodo Beast not eating anything as of yet. More burrowed Crypt Fiends. One Crypt Fiend down. Another Crypt Fiend could get taken down as well. There goes another Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 6. Could get to level 7 in this fight, as the Death Knight is in a bit of trouble. Is he going to be able to break free from this surround either? Devotion Aura, Brilliance Aura, not enough. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Death Knight now sitting at level 6. Are we perhaps going to look at Animate Dead to try and swing the tide of this battle here, as the Tauren Chieftain still fighting its way through? Death Coil onto the Dark Ranger. Are we looking at Animate Dead? And no, we are not. We're looking at Death Pack as that 6th ability in order to sacrifice units to try and survive. Tauren Chieftain still looking to back away. Still trying to chase after some more units. Are we going to see another stomp? No stomp. Ensnare is all that is needed, as the Frost Armor slowing down the armor units here, as beautiful Death Coil level up to save that Dark Ranger and keep it in play. Tauren Chieftain now going back after XlorD's Death Knight. Death Knight down to 400 hit points, trying to retreat away, but I believe Grubby has overextended in this push, now giving level 5 to the Lich. All right, somehow it's gone back the other way. XlorD is starting to win out on this battle. 6-5-5 going up against 2 level 6s, but as the Tauren Chieftain being one of them, but the Death Knight may be able to retreat back, but there are Shadow Wolves trying to go after that Death Knight here. All right, Death Pack on an Acolyte to gain a little bit more hit points. Obsidian Statue as well, as the Death Knight not sure what to do next. Meanwhile, coming back around, Tauren Chieftain trying to go after more of the remaining heroes. At Dark Ranger continuing the fight here. Death Knight trying to dodge damage from those Shadow Wolves. Obsidian Statue trying to heal. Chain Lightning bouncing around. Level 7 now on that Farseer, as that Tauren Chieftain is still completely going unchecked. More damage adding up. Obsidian Statue going to get taken down here. Shadow Wolves constantly being hidden, as well as the Death Knight now trying to retreat back. Acolytes trying to haunt this gold mine here. 4 out of 5. Once again, as the Tauren Chieftain lines up the attack, low hit point Tauren is going to be able to retreat back here. No, so much damage, a little bit more experience given, as well as the Spirit Walkers. Are they going to be able to get that resurrection? That is going to be key once more. Needs a little bit more mana for that resurrection there. Tauren Chieftain now looking to back away. Raiders now trying to retreat back again. More damage onto those Dark Rangers again. I believe there is a... I thought there was a corpse here. Unless he's using Rod of Necromancy to try and prevent the corpses and prevent those resurrections, as the Tauren Chieftain now sits at level 7. All right, more damage coming on through. Beautiful stomp coming across multiple units. Destroyers, however, eating up some of those wolves, as well as the Dark Ranger could get taken down. Beautiful Death Coil once more, and so many close battles here, as the Death Knight still continuing this fight. Tauren Chieftain getting silenced. Units now trying to make their way back. Death Knight now trying to making its way back down. Tauren Chieftain continuing this fight once more. Are we going to see some more stomps? Another beautiful Death Coil on the Dark Ranger, and XlorD is microing out of his mind right now. But same can be said for Grubby, as both sides are still fighting their way through. Grubby 58 supply compared to XlorD's 38. Both sides continuing to battle it up as the Farseer down to 127 hit points, 98 hit points. He could get taken down to 13 hit points. And the Ghoul, one more attack. No. Spirit Link able to save that low hit point Farseer as it escapes away. Tauren Chieftain still not getting taken down here. More ensnares going down, but I believe that there's just enough of the Orc army, undead army here to try and keep it alive still. More Spirit Link, more Disenchant as the Spirit Walkers are now trying to go their separate ways again. Headhunters continuing to back up once more. Farseer back in, no, not back in play, down to 39 hit points, absorbing quite a bit of damage. Dark Ranger doesn't have enough movement speed as the Unholy Aura is only sitting at level 2, not at level 3. But that Death Pact did save a little bit earlier. All right, Lich could turn back around, and Frost Nova, Frost Nova, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, perhaps was trying to bait it. There goes another unit there. Farseer sitting at level 7. Tauren Chieftain getting a purge or getting a purge onto the Lich. Lich now trying to back away. Farseer trying to get that last bit of damage. Unable to do that. Going to finish off an Obsidian statue and now back away as the Headhunter ends up surviving. All right, we are looking at multiple bases. These bases, nope, Grubby has finished mining out his expansion. XlorD still has 2 minutes of mining here and is still trying to mine at this expansion here. Meanwhile, Grubby has the gold advantage and the army size advantage, at least for now. But XlorD has more gold, quote unquote, in the mines still. So if this game does continue to go any longer, well, XlorD may come out on top. Level 6, level 5, going up against 2 level 7 heroes. Beautiful micro coming in from both sides. And the Tauren Chieftain does have level 3 Endurance Aura going, well, trying to challenge and move and catch up to all of these other positions. Healing Salve now being used. Tauren Chieftain also with an Orb of Lightning, also with the Orb of Lightning to be able to handle some of those destroyers if necessary. Spirit or Shadow Wolves nearly getting taken out there as they are easily revealed by that shade. All right, Grubby opts to go for Farsight opts to go for Farsight over Earthquake, but that is because the amount of burrowing that we've seen from XlorD's Crypt Fiend. We'll see how that really works out. Farseer now making its way back out onto the battlefield. Here we are going into an engagement. Ziggurat Spirit Tower nearly done. Raiders are trying to finish things off. There goes an ensnare down, and the Spirit Tower, however, is going to be up, adding in a little bit of bonus defense. Tauren Chieftain does have Cloak of Flames, places down a big stomp, but the radius on that Cloak of Flames perhaps not as large as that stomp right there. Units trying to retreat back as XlorD able to repair this Spirit Tower and keep it operational. It also does save gold for dust, obviously, but yeah, if the Farseer actually tried to stand still to cast and channel Earthquake, well, the Farseer would perhaps be just be destroyed in a matter of seconds between the Death Coil and Frost Nova, both of the level 3 variety. Also, Dark Ranger having access to Silence, being able to stop it in its track, makes it, well, gives more reason for Farsight over Earthquake. Dark Ranger sitting at level 5, and are we perhaps going to get Charm? All right, this could be the great counterplay. If XlorD gets level 6 on the Dark Ranger, Charm completely changes the course of the game, as Kodo Beast could get charmed easily, and then just XlorD just tries to win out the fight that way outright. All right, more battles getting underway. However, it doesn't look like things are going well. Grubby losing one unit there. Dark Ranger still quite a bit away from getting to level 6. Tauren Chieftain hasn't really been landing down that many stomps. Finally lands down a stomp across all 3 heroes as the Greater Dark Minion, 16 to 19 damage, pretty large indeed, tries to finish off more of those Berserkers. There goes a Destroyer taking down. Chain Lightning finishing off another unit there. Both sides are just exchanging blows. Crypt Fiends getting taken down. Dark Minions, Greater Dark Minions coming back across as the Kodo Beast trying to retreat away with something in its belly. Tauren Chieftain still trying to retreat back here. More damage coming back across. Another stomp goes down as more and more units coming back across their Crypt Fiend back out onto the battlefield, but a Kodo Beast just going to snatch it back up once more. All right, more damage coming in. The Kodo Beast trying to escape away at 381 hit points. Is it going to be able to drop its meal? Death Knight could try and land a level 3 Death Coil to finish things off. Get a little bit more damage is all that it's needed. but the Death Knight gets stomped in position once more. That could be a crazy proposition. There's a Dark Ritual to try, or a Death Pact to try and save itself, but the Death Knight falls at level 6, giving the Tauren Chieftain level 8. All right, coming back around, Farseer is very low on hit points, down to 50 hit points here. Shade trying to keep track. Kodo Beast gets, shot in the back with an arrow as the units are trying to heal back up once more. Shade still keeping track of everything here. Tauren Chieftain going to try and line things up as the Farseer ends up surviving and leveling up, getting to level 8 with a healing salve as well, now having access to Earthquake. Level 8, going up against level 5 Lich, level 5, almost level 6 Dark Ranger. That is going to be a scary proposition as well, as the Tauren Chieftain now tries to back away. There's a little bit more repairs. Where is that Dark Ranger? Dark Ranger needs to be somewhere out here onto the battlefield. There it is. What is that? 20 experience shy. If it finishes off the wolves, it can start grabbing other units. That's all it really needs to do. Finish off some wolves, and you get up to that next level. The Lich sitting at, 200 hit points, could be able to get up. There's level 6, and now are we going to start seeing some possession? That is going to, or some charm here. Gets to level 6, but doesn't train up charm in time, and Grubby quickly says, I don't want to be anywhere near this fight. Burrowing on those Crypt Fiends, continuing the fight away once more. Still nothing on this Dark Ranger, no sign of that charm, as we're looking at the Acolytes continuing to fight back here. A little bit more damage coming back off to the north. We could be losing this destroyer, and in comes a Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger looking to try and, get a unit, trying to get a strong unit, perhaps a Spirit Walker or something else. No, gets a Berserker. XlorD grabs a Berserker instead, and now starting to poke across some of those other units as well. Meanwhile, Lich trying to back away. Tauren Chieftain getting slowed down. Lich able to back away here as the Dark Ranger, that charm is actually a very, very fast cooldown ability, and as the Tauren Chieftain could end up taking a little bit too much damage here. Tauren Chieftain down to 100 hit points, gonna get taken out. And Grubby says, since you used an ultimate ability on me, I will also use an ultimate ability on you, as we're still fighting our way through. Tauren Chieftain perhaps going to try to go after the Death Knight. Death Knight quickly in trouble. Once more, no Death Pact, trying to devour magic as the Tauren Chieftain, Chain Lightning, Potion of Healing, I believe, was used. There was a little bit of additional hit points, but it didn't last. Does have enough to try and possess or charm something else once again, but really unable to catch up to all of these units once more. All right, Tauren Chieftain now having access to Shockwave. Earthquake was trying to be used. Expansion over here on the top left-hand side of the map has been cleared. We are down to 4 minutes of mining here and 6 minutes of mining here. XlorD has a little bit more gold in the mines, but this game still, no clear-cut victor as of yet. Back off to the north here, Lich back onto the battlefield. Death Knight is not getting resurrected, unsummoning of a whole bunch of buildings. XlorD realizing that he's never going to be going back into low upkeep, going to unsummon a good number of buildings and perhaps try and retrain up this Death Knight, but still does not have enough gold. All right, turning back around, Dark Ranger, is he going to... Dark Ranger should have tried to charm that Raider right there. Not quite sure why that didn't happen. Lich gets taken down, and now it is only a solo level 6 Dark Ranger. That may be the end of it there. Level 8 Tauren Chieftain leading the way as the units are now trying to retreat back. Dark Ranger in a bit of trouble trying to fight here as we see another charm onto that Raider again. All right, Dark Ranger needs obsidian statues, needs ways to get mana. Brilliance Aura was on that Death Knight as the Dark Ranger trying to fight its way through. Right, a little bit of damage back across the other side. 25 supply compared to 42, but I believe Grubby is going to be the clear-cut victor here. There's just not much that XlorD can do, even with the Death Knight now resurrected and trying to rejoin in on the fight. There's a Death Coil onto the Dark Ranger. Brilliance Aura perhaps should be given to the Dark Ranger, as the Dark Ranger needs that mana more and may be separated from the Death Knight. However, that's a lot of things to think about amongst a crazy battle, as the Dark Ranger still trying to back away here. Dark Ranger back on Blight. Obsidian statues trying to be retrained up once more. No more black arrows, as the Dark Ranger needs that mana here. No more Spirit Towers, only the Black Citadel. No Nerubian Towers here, as the Dark Ranger trying to shift around. 24 supply compared to 40. 19 supply army compared to 26, as the Dark Ranger could be in trouble. Dark Ranger currently trapped in a very, very uncomfortable position, able to continue to break free, though, as it's trying to, bust Obsidian statue now out here onto the battlefield, gonna provide a little bit of healing. Death Coil just in time. Dark Ranger still alive, down to 300 hit points, down to 200 hit points, down to 137, 100 hit points. Is it gonna fall down to 44? And it is able to escape. Obsidian statue providing just enough additional healing for that Dark Ranger to survive, and which means that the possession is now going to be on the table again. Dark Ranger needs a little bit more mana, and then going to perhaps start possessing some Spirit Walkers as well. All right, more black arrows finding themselves on the back of a Berserker. One more shot, and there comes a greater Dark Minion. Dark Ranger needs quite a bit more mana. Destroyer back out into the air, converting the Obsidian statue into a destroyer. That was a questionable decision, as the Dark Ranger still needs more mana for those possessions. All right, Dark Minion trying to fight its way through Death Knight. All these units are just continuing to dodge around Destroyer, trying to devour magic again. No Lich out onto the battlefield either, as we're looking at another unit getting taken down. Continuing the fight, Spirit Tower trying to finish off some more units. Are we going to see another possession here? Perhaps trying to grab a Spirit Walker could work out well. There goes, well, nope, that's going to get taken down. Tauren Chieftain, Resurrection or Reincarnation nearly complete, as the Destroyer going to back away at 88 hit points, but no, unable to fly above the trees in time enough. There goes a stomp onto the Dark Ranger. Lich is back out onto the battlefield. 3 undead heroes working together, one of them being a Dark Ranger, so it is able to possess units. Just needs mana. Dark Ranger just needs mana. Frost Nova available on that, or I believe it used a Dark Ritual, but on a lower hit point unit, didn't convert to that much mana. Death Coil finishing off another, another Troll Berserker there, and the Brilliance Aura on the Death Knight, allowing the Dark Ranger and the Death Knight to just constantly stay afloat here. Meanwhile, Shadow Wolves are, well, trying to clear up some of these remaining buildings here. Obsidian statues now back out onto the battlefield. 29 supply compared to 52. 24 supply army. This Acolyte haunting gold mine. And what is this? Grubby is out of gold. Grubby is out of gold at his gold mine. Gonna throw everything in. This is an all-in attempt. Meanwhile, XlorD still has 4,000 gold to mine. He needs to shut this down and shut it down quickly. No, oh, there's an Earthquake. Earthquake gonna take down some of these buildings. No silence that I see as of yet. Dark Ranger coming back across here. XlorD, how no, Farseer being forced to engage here. There's a possession, grabbing up a Troll Berserker, continuing to fight as the Tauren Chieftain and Farseer are now at level 9. Dark Ranger is still low on mana, now down to 38 mana, using those black arrows. Death Knight now down to 400, 200, gets a little death pack again, trying to break free. Obsidian statue trying to heal up that Death Knight. Death Knight now getting stunned. Death Knight could get taken down, and that could be the game. Level 6 Death Knight now has fallen. 23 supply compared to 44, and I believe this is going to be the game now. Tauren Chieftain still has Reincarnation ready, and there is the GG. A marathon of a game, 51 minutes. 51-minute game between these two players here, but Grubby inching out ahead even though mining was still happening for XlorD. XlorD losing his Death Knight and thereby losing the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, as Grubby did come out with a higher hero score and more resources, as he was able to shut down some of XlorD's mining. Thanks again.